Have I mentioned how imaginative the Risian women are, sir?
Too often, Commander.
Hello and good evening and welcome to Risa, Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 19, Captain's Holiday, first aired back in 1990, but here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to rewatch every episode of TNG continues. One abduction, one Risian holiday at a time. And now here's your captain, a man so devoted to Risian culture that if he ever refused a day in the Twin Suns, you'd know he'd been replaced by a time-traveling Vorgon. I'm your host, Dave Mader. And let's break it all down tonight with tonight's panel. Coming in first, stylish, sharp, and tuned into the emotional core. She's watching the chemistry between Picard and Vash, the vulnerability beneath Picard's grumpiness, and the way Risa brings out a side of him we rarely see. It's Heather Narduzzi.
Hello, all. I have been waiting for this episode all season. I love this episode. It's so much fun. I love Vash. My outfit is a nod to Vash, and my hair, which is not quite as good as hers, but it's pretty cute. So let's get into it. Love it.
Glad to have you with us, Heather. I'm also excited to talk to you about this episode. We've been hyping it for a while, so it should be good. Coming in next, our technologist and cynic in chief. This week, he's questioning the logic of Picard's relaxation strategy, the Ferengi's terrible vacation etiquette, and whether the Tox Uthat is the galaxy's most overpowered MacGuffin. It's Jody Simpson.
It totally is, Dave.
Yes,
it is overpowered.
I thought as much.
I don't even think we can even grasp the power that thing has.
The power of the Tox Uthat from Caldano in the 27th century or whatnot. We're going to be breaking all that down. And of course, rounding out our panel tonight, she's here for the emotional truth behind the tropical shirts, Picard's guarded heart, Vash's unpredictable charm, and the spark between them. But more than that, when it comes to Dave Mader, she is always seeking a return to Jamaharan. She's my wife, the love of my life, Jane Mader.
Jamaharan all the time, all day, every day. Happy to be here. Happy to sub in for Adam, who couldn't make it. I can't believe I got on this episode. Sure,
Adam's always asking me for Jamaharan, but I'm like, no, it's only for Jane. So
I would do it.
I know.
I'd take one for the team.
Oh, I bet you would.
That man's sexy.
Yeah, of course. We are talking Captain's Holiday, an episode that first aired on April 2nd, 1990, the 67th episode overall of Next Generation, written by the great Ira Stephen Bear and directed by Chip Chalmers. This episode, Captain Picard is talked into taking shore leave on the resort planet of Risa, where he finds himself drawn into an archaeological adventure with a woman of questionable ethics, who we come to know is named Vash, portrayed by Jennifer Hedrick, and then pursued by a nefarious Ferengi, who's played by Max Grodenchik, who went on to play Rom on Deep Space Nine. But this is a different character in this one, a different Ferengi.
It's almost the same thing.
He's very well. A lot of the same
voice-wise identical for the most part, from what I remember.
Well, yeah, like at least season one Rom for sure.
Season,
because he's more, but he's like I'm a sneaky Ferengi.
Yeah, and then he kind of mellows out a little bit more later in.
Yeah, he's still digging that hole, as far as I know.
Probably.
Right, hoping to find that Tox Uthat. But yeah, let's talk about this episode. I think it's a favorite of all of ours. But let's go around the panel. Heather, I know you're a fan. Tell us about your thoughts on this episode.
It's so much fun. We get to see the captain being grumpy on Risa. Dave showing the guns on the pod. Yes. He's
swim.
ready for his Rysian vacation. It's just, we see, it's the equivalent of a sitcom where they, the gang goes to California kind of thing. We get to see the characters in different situations. The captain has a love interest, which we don't get to see very much. Dave showing off all of his horgons.
Yes, I have some
the earrings.
Do you have horgon earrings?
And then
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
And of course, all the wonderful costumes on Risa and Riker's little joke with the horgon. It's all so much fun. And just the campy Ferengi I always love, and the alien makeup. There's so much to like about this episode.
Absolutely, I'm with you all the way. Jody, how do you feel about this one? Well, what do you like?
I like it. It's a good romp. The thing I like the most about this is we get to see a little bit more of a mischievous. Oh, I cannot say that word today. You know what I'm talking about.
Mischievous.
Yeah, there we go. If I slow down, I'm good. But anyway, we get to see more mischievous. There we go. Picard in this, which I did like. It's nice to see when you, especially somebody who's of authority like him, to see kind of like the hair down, so to speak, even though he doesn't have any. But he's got a little bit.
He's got his little circle.
Well, the little stripe there. Yeah, he's got a little bit of that. But overall, I think that's good. The only thing I would disagree with on from Heather or AK Vash would be the fact that I didn't see costumes. All I saw was a shower curtain convention. That's all I saw. I don't know what costumes you're talking about, but
I was talking about all the sheer little nighties that everyone is running around in. Love it.
Yeah.
Yes, they're
Little
definitely showing some skin
over their bikinis.
And Picard is rocking not quite a Speedo, but it is not like it's not trunks.
Setting
either.
course for intercourse right there. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get a lot of Patrick Stewart in the raw, if you will. Yes. I think Vash is a very interesting guest star in this episode. Jennifer Hedrick. I was like, how old was she at this time? I looked it up. She was 32 at the time. For some reason, she feels much older. But she doesn't look. Not that I think she looks like an old woman or anything. But it's just like I'm like.
No, she has that. She has that like
confidence.
Confidence and like the wiseness of her as well, I think, or whatever.
Yeah, and Patrick Stewart 18 years older than her, and I was like, but it's very the romance, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like there's this huge age gap between them, even though there is.
It doesn't at all. The chemistry is palpable, especially when they're in the campfire and they're kind of like joking around the first time they kiss. Like, it's such good chemistry, and they don't read as an age gap at all. They're equals.
Yeah, and and Jane, your thoughts on this episode and what you like about it?
Oh, I love it. Super memorable. We're right up there in the top 10 for me. I'm more of a mystery person generally with the Trek episodes, but this is a fun one. Just like I said, a romp. It's funny. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and I know you read Patrick Stewart's book last year.
Did Making It So.
Making It
Yeah,
So.
so I didn't know. I didn't know they had an affair. Yeah.
I didn't know that either. I was only told that about 3 minutes before we started.
Yes, I said that to Jody while you and Dave were sorting out the
It's like, whoa.
beforehand.
Yeah,
and I read it as well. He said it caused the dissolution of his first marriage. He was still married to his first wife while he and Jennifer were running around.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But remember, we all can make mistakes in life, guys.
Well, and he admits it. Like, and the marriage was kind of ending, but yeah.
Either way, though, it's still.
They go, yeah. He was attracted to her, and they were out on a date a week after, and spent the night together. And yeah, it was on.
And were they still seeing each other when she comes back, like the next year for the Cupid episode, or was it just a kind of a brief?
No, it didn't. Like I got from what he said, it didn't last super long because of the paparazzi and whatnot. It was just too much for her, I think.
Just long enough to kill a marriage.
Because the show was a big hit by the time this episode came out, so they were quite famous and in the news all the time, so they would have been hounded by paparazzi everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's as it is. National Enquirer and all those things. I guess they still exist, but they were definitely.
Well, also because Patrick Stewart is out with a woman who's not his wife.
True. Yes. Yeah. And he's a big TV star. I get it. Yeah. So, okay. Well, but it might contribute to their on-screen chemistry, if anything.
Oh, yeah.
That might have helped.
Yeah. Didn't hurt things.
Didn't hurt the situation. Let's put it that way.
I'm a big fan of not just of this episode, but also the second Rysian episode we got, which is Let He Is With Who Without Sin. It's a Deep Space Nine episode. Also co-written by Ira Stephen Bear.
You didn't like the Risa episode from Enterprise?
It's my least favorite of the 3 Risa episodes. The one that it's okay, right. but it's not as good for me. Although it is in the 22nd century, which gets referenced in this episode in terms of all the time travel, the temporal Cold War. So a couple years ago, I got really into the Star Trek Online video game. And every year in that game, everyone goes to Risa, and there's this huge festival, and everyone's dancing and power boarding and doing all these fun things, Horgon hunts, and you can even go see Sovak, like the Ferengi guy, and go look for temporal artifacts. And it's a really fun.
It is a great community, I will say.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of stories in that game that center around some of the things they touch upon in this episode, like the Vorgons, the Caldano from the future, hiding that item on Risa in the 22nd century, and all these other things. So it was really interesting watching this episode again, having played all those years in that game. I in the game, my character and Jane's character, we're kind of like we live on Risa. That's how much I love the Rysian.
I mean, who wouldn't want to live on Risa given the opportunity?
All right, nerds, let's get moving here.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess just the world building, that this gave us. And in this episode, they don't even really say that that Risa is a Federation planet, but by the time we get to Deep Space Nine, it is established as a Federation member. So anyway, let's head into our episode screenshots and talk all about what we saw. And what are we presented with very off the bat is a big Horgon, the Rysian fertility symbol, as we'll come to find out, and perhaps Commander Riker's favorite item in the universe.
And they've got like some daffodils next to it on either side. I always like looking at the floral decor in this show because sometimes it seems really intentional and other times it's like, let's slap some daffodils around it. That's fine.
Yeah, well, like how alien can we make this while making it familiar, I guess.
Yeah.
Daffodils, they're so weird looking.
We see like this set they built for like the Rysian resort here. It's not a big set, but they make.
I got a fun fact about that. Do you want it now?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Dorn is in this scene.
Is he?
Yes.
Yep. He's actually the first person you see on Risa.
Is he this guy with like the red?
I believe that is him. Yes.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, because he doesn't really. Worf isn't used in the episode really, so they kind of gave him like, you could be the background guy.
Come wear your underwear.
They really should have given him one of the little baby doll sheer nighties.
Yes.
Yeah. There's probably something in the contract that doesn't allow that, but
I'll settle for the neon short shorts though.
But I will emphasize the woman in the middle. She's dressed very well.
So what about the man here?
I don't like it as much, but
there was one man shot that was just like, I don't know, Heather, if you saw it, that the butt, holy moly.
Available. Dave's already got it.
Mm-hmm. I don't have the butt, but we'll see if we come to it right now. I don't have it at least in the chamber. if you will. All of a sudden, then here at this Rising Resort, these two strange-looking aliens beam in. Seemingly, we'll come to know that they are the Vorgons. Very interesting makeup design and costume design with this whole thing.
Yeah, they were like, you know what? Remember all those 80s pictures that people would have in like lounges and stuff? You know, with the woman wearing the hat that's flowing and there's gold accents down her cheek or something. Like the disco vibe. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. This is an ex-disco guy.
Yeah, the Vorgons, like, it's very ambitious. Like I feel like they spent all their money on this, but
Do you think
anyway.
Like, could it be a face mask or is it makeup with prosthetics on?
Oh, it's like a full prosthetic mask.
I think it's a prosthetic mask. Yeah.
And then
because if you look at the two of them, they have two completely different profiles.
So they were in the makeup chair from like 2 a.m. and then they probably hit the set at 1 p.m. or something. Like they were probably going a long time. Anyway, they come over to the computer console. They ask, what room is Captain Picard staying in? And they're like, well, Captain Picard's not a guest here. And they go, that's weird. He's supposed to be here. As we'll find out that they're time travelers and they're expecting to be here, but he hasn't quite arrived yet. So but you know, being from the future, they're like, well, I guess eventually he's going to show up. So they're somewhat confident that this is coming. But they know Picard's coming before he does even. Meanwhile, we head over to the Enterprise where we find out that Captain Picard for the last 2 weeks has been busy mediating a trade dispute between these two alien species who are very stubborn and don't like each other. It seems like it was Picard and Counselor Troy who were handling these negotiations. Counselor Troy is pretty well adjusted, but it was it's pretty grueling for the captain who comes back and he's not exactly at his best, let's say. He's a little, Riker says, congratulations, sir, on the trade deal. And he's like, what? Who gives a damn? Like, he was just not.
His exact words were,
Like,
yeah, sure.
Whatever.
I'll be in my office. You know,
Why are you talking to me, peasant?
yeah, no thanks, right? So he's off, and then Riker says, "Is he okay, Troy?" You know, and she's like, "Our captain needs a vacation because he didn't eat enough, he didn't sleep enough the whole time, overworking, needs to come out here." So I think this idea of our captain needs a vacation. Riker's like, "Oh, I got some ideas." If Riker does enjoy his recreation and leisure. Anyway, and that is our teaser for the episode.
Sorry. I just had a really good joke, but then I realized it was a little too raunchy. So
okay, well, good to self-correct there.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you can tell us later.
Right.
Okay, so then Captain's Holiday is the title card after the credits. We see Picard just with all these pads all over his desk. He's up to his eyeballs, you could say, in paperwork. 24th century version, at least.
Have you noticed how many versions of pads they have?
Yeah.
Like we already got this iPad thing going here. Like, could they have not just amalgamated these all? What's that?
Is there a Game Boy in there?
No problem.
Not quite, but
Palm Pilot.
It was interesting because this is before iPads or tablet devices really existed.
Yeah, exactly.
And so in some ways it was very visionary that, we'll have like a tablet display and we'll be able to use that. But on the other hand, we don't need all of them. We can probably just have one. However, it I guess just to convey to a 20th century audience.
Future props.
Yeah,
all of them.
when you go to your office and there's folders and paperwork all over your desk, depending
Picard don't do that.
He doesn't.
He does multiple pads.
So and he's on his.
You
little
think it's
laptop.
because he doesn't know how to load his apps on each device? So
it is. This is a real problem too, right?
This is a problem for a lot of people. Yeah.
Anyway, so he comes in. I guess who's here to visit Grumpy Picard? It's the chief medical officer, Beverly Crusher, who says we have a crewman who's overworked and overstressed and whatever. And like the ruse, Picard's not fooled. He knows she's talking about him like right away. She's like, I can't take any time off. She's like, I could order you, but you won't, and he's like, I guess I can go to the holodeck. And she's like, no, you can't just go to the holodeck for like an afternoon.
We're not cleaning that again.
We're not doing
Raunchy, there's that joke.
There's the raunch.
Oh, yeah,
that's how Picard feels about your joke.
Picard's like,
Jody, we
very highbrow, Jody. So,
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
That's all. This is what Dr. Crusher thinks about your joke.
Yeah, it's okay. Dr. Crusher can think anything. She's so gorgeous.
Anyway, so I guess Picard says a vacation is out of the question, so Crusher does not is not very successful. However, the crew will not give up that easily. Later on, Picard and Riker headed into a turbolift, and Riker's saying like, "You need to go to Risa. It's the best place ever." I think I pulled a clip of him describing it for the first time.
The place is called Risa, and believe me, Captain, it is a paradise. Warm tropical breezes, exotic foods, nothing to do but sit around all day, enjoy the quiet, and then the women.
Of course.
The women.
I'm sure you would find their sybaritic outlook on life very appealing.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm surprised he didn't like slip him a 12-pack of condoms or something. Like
He's like,
this is crazy.
Then there's the women.
It's such a creepy.
I think you'll find their outlook on life very amazing. He's like, yeah, sure. So he's just, it's some great vibes here. But anyway, Picard's like, I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't want to hear anything about going on a vacation. So then it persists here. When they get into their chairs here on the bridge, Counselor Troy says, well, I just found out my mother might visit us at the starbase and stay for an entire week, which Picard is thrilled at this suggestion.
Yeah, Picard's like, oh.
But he knows exactly what's happening. This is not fooling him one bit, but he's like,
That's it. Actually, ironically, that's the same look I have every time I find out there's a Loxana Troy episode coming up.
Jody, zip it up.
yeah.
That one was for you, Heather.
It's coming up.
I know.
We got Menage a Troy coming up later this season. So
I won't be here.
yeah.
The fun one.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so then Picard wants to talk to Riker in the ready room. I want to speak to you right away. And Riker and Troy are a little. Yeah, he's like, oh, okay. And as they're walking into the ready room, you see Troy is all excited here because she's like, it's working. Our plot is working, and we're getting to him. Anyway, so then Picard wants to know does everyone on the ship know about this plan of sending me on holiday? And he goes, well, there are 2 ensigns on deck 39 who know nothing about it. Otherwise, yes. So Picard is kind of resigned to say, fine, I'll go on this holiday, which Riker is very happy about. A happy captain is a good captain as far as Riker's concerned.
Riker just wants to take the ship.
Yeah, maybe.
he's like,
I'm the boss.
I'm taking
now.
this bitch for a go ride, buddy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think what Riker has in mind is like bros weekend.
Yeah, he's like,
but he has to stay on the ship, right?
Yeah, he's like, invite me. Come on, Jean-Luc, invite
Come on. The 2 of us, but leave Data in charge. He doesn't need a vacation.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Anyway, so he's like, fine, I'm going to go. And then Risa is where he decides to go. Picard starts packing up his clothes. That I think he wore that shirt the last episode, if I'm recalling.
No, but it was on somebody's head.
Oh, right. Anyway, he's bringing some light reading, like, The Odyssey by Ulysses or something. And some other things. Well, it's just some light reading in case I get bored. I need to have it. Can't bring an ebook. He has to bring the actual books, I suppose. And
there's something to be said about natural books too.
And so Riker's like, "Have I told you about the Risian women? Have I ever?" And Troy's just like, "Yeah, all the time. We don't
too frequently.
Too frequently." But Riker, he's a big proponent of the culture. He's all about it. Riker very much.
Those 2 hit the Pineapple Club when they were there, right?
Who?
Yeah.
Troy and Riker?
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. And then, which he says too many times, Commander. He's like, come on. I thought it was cool. Anyway. And then they're heading down. And this is where, Riker asks for the souvenir.
I do have one request, sir.
You want me to bring you back a souvenir?
It's called a Horgon. I don't think you'll have any trouble finding one.
Consider it
He's such
done.
a dick.
Look at the
So
grin
funny,
on
though.
his face. He's like,
Just like, I'm gonna get the captain laid. I'm gonna get the captain laid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's so happy with himself. He's like, this plot is bulletproof,
Yeah.
Um,
There is nothing that can stop me.
Meanwhile, Worf wants Picard to take a security guard with him.
He just
on
wants to go
vacation.
down there too.
He's like, can I come? Can I come?
like,
But
come on,
but
nobody-
we'll find out later that Worf doesn't like Risa. Or I guess, the pamper.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Bad
Too many.
tea.
He doesn't like wearing bathing suits. We'll find out. But anyway, but Picard says no armed security guard for me. Although it will turn out that it would have been useful for Picard to have this. So I guess Worf
Picard was fine.
did make a good suggestion, but normally this would be overkill. Anyway, so Picard is off on his vacation, and Riker is thrilled. It's just it worked.
That shit-eating grin that Frakes has, though, it's phenomenal.
It's great.
So good.
Because no matter what, like, he could tell me my dog died, and if he did that look, I'd still be like, "Oh, you rascal!"
He's a
Riker,"
very
as I'm
guy.
crying for my dog.
And he's always been done well at the convention circuits and all that. But now, have you listened to his new podcast he's doing with Brent Spiner?
Not
Spiner.
yet.
I haven't heard it yet.
I just listened to the one they did with LeVar
tomorrow.
Burton the other day. It was really good.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
Frakes, he's just such a likable guy.
Yeah, I would imagine heuld be really good in that.
Spiner less so for me, but
he's always rigid.
He's a little bit more like I guess rough around the edges is how I would describe him. But anyway,
he's really nice to talk to, though. I did meet him.
Well, I'm sure he is. Yeah, he's just but compared to Frakes, who just seems to love everyone. Where
did you meet him, Jody?
At a convention by the airport, probably. Oh geez, I would have been. It was just before Generations came out, so it would have been. What was that, 95?
94
96?
Generations came
was it
out.
94? Oh shit, then that would have been like 93 then. So I would have been.
Wow.
If I do the quick math, I would have been
16.
26. No, 26. Yeah, 16. Sorry, 16. Yeah, I was gonna say it wouldn't have been 26.
Anyway, so Riker very thrilled, and so now it becomes this purely Picard story from here on in the episode. We don't see the rest of the cast. We see the Enterprise here above Risa in orbit. Looks like a nice place. Blue Earth-like planet. As Picard beams in, he's here for his little holiday, and we see right away Vash is here admiring the Horgon statue that we saw earlier. Picard's checking out the scantily clad women, Risian women, if you will.
Which is like the only time you've ever seen him like check out women. You know what I mean? It's
and he's doing it begrudgingly at this point.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to look at that."
Yeah.
But he has like a scowl. He's like, "Oh, I don't approve of this at all."
Look what they did to a perfectly working.
I thought you were French. Come on,
Yeah.
but maybe he's from one of those more conservative French areas.
That's true. I never even thought about that.
I was kind of intrigued by this statue that they had here too on the Risian fountain. Like it seems like it's two men wrestling, but I'm not quite sure, or maybe it's not wrestling. So
a Greek statue, the form of the body, and just like you have this on our planet.
It looks like one guy carrying another guy. The downside is they're both naked, I think.
Carrying.
Carrying. Yeah.
Carrying. Exactly. A little back.
Do they call that like a can opener? No? I don't know.
Maybe it's a dance. Who's to say?
Who's to say? Let's move on.
Moving on. Anyway, so Picard, he's still checking out that woman's butt.
What a weird
thing. And then he runs right into Vash, and this is how they will first meet. We get her first time here on camera. She's obviously a very good looking woman.
What a beauty.
Never noticed.
Yes.
Just kidding.
And she sees what's the guy's name? The Ferengi here, Sovak, right?
Sovak.
Who's in his Ferengi beachwear. Gotta love it.
I do like the sandals. I like the fact that he's wearing pink sandals. That's amazing.
Yes. So she's like, oh, I need a distraction. So she kisses Picard at the first time ever here, which of course is awkward for Sovak. He looks away, and Picard's like, hello, I think you've mistaken me for someone else. Oh, I guess I have. Well, welcome to Risa. And he's like, a handshake would have done.
Risa.
Risa, what's going on here? This is terrible. Women kissing me the second I come down here.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous older ladies. No problem.
Older?
Well, yes, because she would be older compared to the other ones that are there. Don't try to pull your feminist shit on me.
All right. Anyway, guess who's here?
The rest of them are much younger than her.
As Picard comes along, we see the two Vorgons are like, he's about to meet his destiny or whatever,
So the guy on the right,
yeah,
Do you remember Total Recall, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Yes.
Okay, so Michael Ironside was like the henchman that was going after him the whole time, right?
Right.
He had a right-hand man who was like the computer guy
Uh-huh.
with blonde hair. You
And
remember?
glasses.
Yeah, that's the guy that's on the right-hand side.
Oh, that's him? Well, it's
Yeah, same guy.
hard to tell
Yeah,
through the
well, in
makeup.
this you obviously can't, but yeah, it's the same actor.
Right. Well, Picard,
In
like,
fact,
they don't stand out to anyone else in this room, apparently. I guess, so maybe Vorgons are constant.
Everyone goes to Risa.
Everyone goes to Risa. Anyway, so then we get to see a little bit of the Rising Resort. We see this woman here, in the
Who's
sun.
clearly younger, Heather.
Okay. Well, if this is our drink, she's getting her drinks, whatever the Risian Mai Tai is, maybe. We see people getting amorous in the corner.
Canoodling.
Canoodling. Vash is having some drinks, and she's got a guy like rubbing her calves and feet, I guess. So she's having a good time.
Wearing a shower curtain.
Wearing a shower curtain. And Picard's over reading a book. He gets splashed with somebody like going by, which he does not like. He's, ugh.
He's sitting by the pool. What did he think was going to happen?
He's here to read his book about, the Odyssey by Ulysses or whatever.
I noticed that towel. They didn't put much thought into the towel. That's just like something you
Go
got.
back. I didn't see the towel.
It's a 90s towel.
It's literally like a 90s towel. Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It probably
sure.
has like a beach on it.
it definitely does. It has a beach umbrella and like the ocean.
And one lawn chair with nobody in it.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, back to his book. So then this Powerball hovering device comes by, and we'll find that this other young Risian woman, the first Risian character we ever meet on screen, possibly younger. I'm not sure how old she is, but we'll find out the Risians have like this little mark on the top of their forehead. I'm still unclear. Is this a tattoo? Is this some kind of like thing they're born with? It's never been fully explained in any canon.
I would assume because it matches some of their symbols. I would imagine
it seems to be their symbol. Like the symbol of Risa is this little emblem, as we saw on the computer screen earlier.
It could also be like cool thing. Yeah,
it could just be a tattoo or paint, or it could be, it could be a birth. I don't know. It could be any of those things, right? But so far, it seems to be the only thing that distinguishes Risians from humans is this.
She might have been born with it, or
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah,
maybe it's Maybelline.
Her
Anyway,
hair is incredible, though. Amazing poofy 80s hair. Love it.
She might possibly be the only person that did actually cause global warming
With all that hairspray.
Yeah.
yes.
Ooh.
Anyway, so she thinks that Picard is seeking Jamaharan because he's got the Horgon on display, but he doesn't know that.
Which is so awesome.
So
Such a good scene.
what's
He's
going
like,
on?
I just want to lie here in the suns and read my book.
I think we might have to put a censor bar there. That was
The shorts or they look padded in a way. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, like maybe they put some sort of padding in, so
there?
Patrick Stewart's nut and twig aren't on
on
display.
full display. Well, maybe maybe. I don't
we
know.
are spending way too long on this slide.
I hadn't thought of that, but you could be right. Anyway,
Listen, these are the important issues that is why you need women on the panel.
Mhm.
All I can say is it looks like Patrick Stewart is a lefty.
All right. I don't know if he is or not. Anyway, but
She wants to find out, though.
she wanted to find out. She was down to find out with Picard, and then she goes, "Well, did a friend ask you to buy this for him?
I don't understand. You say you wish to be alone, yet you carry the Horgon.
Why? Are you implying this has some special meaning?
The Horgon is the Risian symbol of sexuality. To own one is to call forth its powers. To display it is to announce you are seeking Jamaharan.
Riker. The Horgon is for a friend.
I see. Someone close to you.
That's right.
Someone you love.
I wouldn't go that far.
He's going to be finding his ass in an airlock when he gets back. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so he has to hide the Horgon so that all the women will leave him alone.
It's such a cute scene,
He's got it rough, He's got it really
It's
rough.
so cute, though. Come
It's
on.
very fun scene, and then he like angrily hides it under there and looks around again. I love it.
Yeah. It's like, is anyone trying to come and have sex with me? Good, because I don't want it. So,
I don't want none of that. I just want a book.
yeah. And just as he gets back to his book, there's this eclipse over him. Someone's blocking the sun, and it's Sovak, our Ferengi. It's played by Max Grodenchek. He's here, and he starts talking to Picard, and Picard's like, "Who are you? I don't know you. What's up? Are you talking to me?" And he was like, "Oh, I know what you're up to, Picard, and you and the woman, and you must have it." And Picard doesn't know anything he's talking about, but Sovak is convinced that Picard is in it with Vash already, which he will be very soon, but that hasn't happened yet.
That Ferengi is ready to go golfing.
Yes.
It's Leisure Suit Ferengi.
Mhm.
Leisure Suit Ferengi. Anyway, and then he's like, "You've never dealt with the Ferengi, have you?" And Picard's like, "Oh, I've dealt with Ferengi. Who don't you worry?" But anyway, then Picard gets mad. He slams his book, and this is where Vash kind of notices him. Giving Sovak a hard time. He starts yelling at him, and Sovak's laughing in his face. And then eventually, Sovak leaves, and Picard just kind of he's so exhausted by all these people trying to have sex with him and or fight him that he has to take a break. It's a rough
I have the
time.
same problem a lot of the times.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all know the exhaustion of too many suitors seeking sex.
Yes. So he's trying to, but then somebody else is here. It's Vash, and Vash, well, I guess this is their second introduction after the kiss earlier.
She got the fancy curtain.
Yes. The pink shower curtain.
Big shower curtain. She's wearing a bathing suit underneath the shower curtain. But anyway, Picard thinks she's here for Jaemeel Haran, which she's not. But she,
It kind of turns out she is.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm not here. I'm not here for that." Well, and then he's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to imply that you're a Jaemeel Haranian." But the handshake that Picard was seeking is now coming. But Picard, he just doesn't really want to deal with any of this drama, whatever the politics are, whatever she wants with him and Sovak and all that. He's trying to get out of it. He tries to go back to his room while Vash follows him. And then Sovak confronts him again. And, he's in his face. Whatever. It's quite the bathing suit. I gotta tell you, maybe I need to get one. Anyway.
Picard Speedo?
Yeah, it's pretty much a Speedo. Yeah,
it's like a space boy short. It's not quite a Speedo because it's not that bikini cut.
Yeah, you're right, but it's almost there. It was the 90s. This is before, like,
they didn't know any better, Heather.
They didn't know any better because, like, I remember when I was like learning to swim, like around this time, and all men pretty much. One of those. Like trunks were not as common, but by the like mid to late 90s, that was the standard. So not everyone, but most people. Anyway, so Picard he's wrapped up in this whole drama here with Sovak and Vash, and he doesn't like it at all. And he's in with it here. And then Vash hides the disc that Sovak's trying to get from her in Picard's little jacket thing, his shower curtain.
I touched that bum at one point there. A little bum shot when I got a picture with him.
Do you think that's his bum, or do you think that's a stunt double's bum?
I think that's his bum. Yeah.
Well, you've touched it. So, anyway, so, and then Sovak's also kind of in love with Vash or whatever. I don't know.
That was Jane's face after she touched his bum.
It was. It's on a photo.
Yes. Oh,
please don't sue.
I would like to subscribe to your newsletter, Jane.
Picard comes back to his room to find the two Vorgons there.
The Mater Misadventures. That's what it's called.
What are you doing in my room? Can't a man get some peace?
They're like, we're here for Jaemeel Haran, bud.
He's like, I didn't want this Jaemeel Haran.
This is the Pineapple Club, buddy.
He starts like shaking his Horgon at the Vorgons, which
as one does with a Horgon when they're trying to shake it at the Vorgons. Yeah, because the Vorgons do not like having the Horgon being shaken at them.
Right. It's interesting that they chose the word Vorg, like they have both of these words in this episode, Vorgon and Horgon. But anyway.
Like foregone conclusion.
Picard then reveal he's told that they're from the 28th century, if I'm recalling correctly. And they tell him about the Tox Uthat, which he's heard the legend of, like this incredible device from the future that can start nuclear fission inside of a star. And the Picard is meant to find it here on Risa. He's like, well, I haven't found anything, but he's intrigued by like the legend, and he's like assuming that they're telling the truth, which, by the way, he never really challenges the back. He just assumes that they are. That he's like, well, if the device is here in this century, then it belongs in your time, not in my time. That's my standpoint. They're like, well, if you find it, you're going to give it to us. The global warming was worth it for the hairspray. The other thing I find was interesting with these Vorgons is that they like their communicator or their whatever to beam away is on is embedded in their skull, so they keep like hitting their heads when they want to beam out. Anyway, so then they leave. Picard then realizes that he has the disc in his little smock or whatever.
Let's just look at this picture for a second. Am I really screwed up here, or is the one pocket way higher than the other one?
It's very Discovery uniform, right?
Yeah, it was
that
ahead of
what
its
that
time.
is? Okay.
Yeah,
because I thought I was going crazy, but it really does look like the one side's bigger.
No, it's called fashion. Sweaty, look it up.
Did you just call me sweaty?
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, so Picard finds this thing, and he knows that Vash put it there. So then he goes to visit Vash's room, which is just, I think, a redressing of his room. And
probably, yeah.
All her stuff is on the ground and like thrown around. And it's because Sovak apparently comes into her room and searches it periodically.
Well, whose stuff is it? Like, this is a hotel room. Like, how much of that is hers?
Most of it's not.
Exactly.
But anyway, he's like, I got your little disc here, and they get to talking about the Tox Uthat and everything else. And she kind of gives this backstory around how she worked for this professor guy for 5 years, and Sovak also kind of worked for that professor guy, and that they were searching for this. And Picard is like, loves archaeology, so they have this in common. Although, Vash hasn't completely revealed that she's not necessarily like devoted to science and archaeology and all that. She's more of a for-profit treasure hunter.
I think he knows, though, at this point.
Maybe,
that's his version of a dirty girl.
Kind of, Yeah. What's interesting to me about Vash too is that, like, in this post capitalist society, the Federation, right? Like, there are some humans who still go into for-profit business, right? Like, we know of at least, Devanani Rao being another one who we talked about earlier this season, right? And so even though these humans who don't need to work but they still want to make money and they still want to accumulate things and whatever. And she's one such human, so that's part of what she's in for the adventure. But I guess the thrill of it, I try to understand what the appeal of that would be for her, but maybe just the adventure.
I reminded the guy of the Most Toys episode too, where he kidnaps Data.
Yeah, but he's not a human.
I love that episode.
Yeah, me too. He's not a human though.
No. So but Vash it very much is. But she only has one name, like Madonna. I guess Madonna's human, so I guess that could be. Anyway, so they decide that they're going to go look for the Tox Uthat together, like in the Rysian jungle, like 30 kilometers out, which is a bit of a hike. What's up?
Oh, there's a lot of bulge going on there right now, Dave.
Well, he might have padded it.
Our bulge meter's at about an 8. Dave.
He was.
We can't handle too much more.
He was having this affair with her on the side, so just remember, Anyways, so they're heading out to this vacation.
That's why she's smiling.
This little adventure, yeah.
Oh, look at that look, hey.
Yeah.
Then they change out of their bulging uniform, bathing suits or whatever,
into his and hers Indiana Jones knockoffs.
Yes, which I love these outfits too. Like, they're fun. Something, he's like, don't dress like in your bathing suit to go into, like, the jungle, basically. So they're coming along, but then Sovak gets the drop on them with a gun to their back, a phaser here. So they have to play along, I guess, and that he's working with her now. They want the disc, give me the disc. But then while Sovak is getting all like, and he also revealing that she stole the disc originally, and she, stole his money to get to Risa, because she had to pay her way to get to Risa, which kind of maybe why she's a capitalist too. She's from somewhere, I guess, that she would have to pay to get here. But while Sovak's like checking her out, like the woman he covets, this kind of gives them an opportunity to steal the gun, and then Picard gets it from him, and then I love the little move where he throws it to the other hand while Sovak's looking at him, and then he just punches him in the face, and
So fun.
it goes down. Now they could have just called the authorities, say this guy pulled a gun on us, but they don't. It's kind of, but
Look at that 80s vision board thing that's sitting there.
yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like one of those like floaty boards, I think.
Shit for the bulge. Anyway, then Picard throws the gun in like the garden too, and then he's like, all right, let's go.
He's like, some little kid can play with this later.
Yeah. Because we find out the Rysians ban all weapons. They don't allow them on the planet.
Well, they at least allowed one.
Huh?
Yeah. Then I don't know. I feel like there was like a scene we missed because much later on, like Picard and Vash are now in this cave. I guess they're halfway to wherever they're going to look for the Tox Uthat. So, getting to know each other.
Well, I think they're cooling down as well.
They're cooling down from the heat. He's like, Picard says one thing about Vash, like any woman who can play a Ferengi's game, like at his level or better, is, to be noticed or not to be trifled with, I think. Anyway, but they get along, and then they decide, okay, we gotta get some sleep. So then they get this like blanket that they decide they're gonna sleep on together. I thought this was interesting. Like this person they just met.
They could have done like two separate blankets, made a little like they didn't have to sleep together. They could have figured it out. They wanted
then
to.
Picard, he steals all the blanket, and then Jane said, "That's you that does that, Dave." And I said, "I don't know about that."
Absolutely.
Oh, there's always one in every relationship.
Yeah.
Right. They're like an old married couple already.
I have
not
separate
usually-
blankets. Yeah, we have separate blankets.
Well, I have an extra blanket just in case blanket. Yes.
Yeah, and it gets in the way. But anyway,
We
He
got
doesn't
separate
like it.
blankets. We know how
I
it's
need
done.
it.
but then she gets to talking to Picard, like, aren't you like your kind of vacation's not like hanging by the pool and like, whatever else. You like adventure. You like going out. You like all this. He's like, I'm sleeping in a damn cave. What do you think this is great? And she goes, you loving it? He goes like, yeah, I kind of do. And then she's like, that time I asked you about Jamaharan, remember that? And he's like, that was a misunderstanding. But very quickly it turns to kissing and them
This
getting
means so
into it.
much different now.
Yeah,
I've been hurt.
Yeah.
yeah. Getting on,
My
getting it
revelation.
on.
Foreplay for the real thing.
Foreplay. Now we don't. There's like a time jump. We don't. They don't have time for all the
Like-
amorous. But
Insert intercourse here. All right,
Right.
move on.
there may have been some of that. We're not sure. So then later on, they're back in the caves looking around. They're following the tricorder symbol. They eventually get to like this little mud pit, whatever it is, in like the Rysian caves, and it's that the tricorder can't detect it because there's something in the rocks that makes it impossible. So they're gonna have to dig. They're gonna get the shovels out. Good thing they pack shovels.
I always love how caves have stairs built in.
Yeah,
Love that.
that's nice. That's nice.
They always have these
Very
kind of designs.
convenient.
Yeah, very convenient. Then the Vorgons show up. They're like, "Oh, good. We know you found the Tox Uthat," which Vash was not expecting them. But she's like, "You didn't tell me about them at all." And he's like, "Well, if I told you about the time traveling people from the future who want your thing, then you might not have told me where to go." So he lied to Vash, and Vash.
She
lied
doesn't
to him.
even bat an eye though when these guys show up. Like she just literally is like, "Ah, you didn't tell me about these guys."
Well, but like she doesn't
get
tell
that part.
Picard a whole bunch of other things. So I don't think.
Yeah, like she's just as
she's
guilty
not
of
necessarily
that.
on the moral high ground all the time with him.
Ooh.
Anyway, so then later
That
on,
shovel looks so useless too.
then Sovak shows up now dressed in his like Ferengi uniform. I guess
Now he's got like a pimp MP5 or something.
yeah, he's got a new like a rifle of sorts. Anyway, so and the Vorgons are like they don't really get involved with this whole Ferengi thing, but Sovak's holding a gun and he wants them to dig for the Tox Uthat, and they don't want to do that. But then he's like, "I will shoot you," and the Vorgons aren't going to intervene either here, so they decide fine. So there's, so they start digging this Tox Uthat. There's a time jump here, and many hours later, they are very sweaty and very dirty. They've been digging for a while. And
Look at the damn shovels they're using. They're practically like butter knives.
I would rather have a longer.
This will take
shovel,
years.
And with all this futuristic technology, it's got to be something a little better than that. But anyway,
yeah. This is fine if you're weeding your garden, I guess, but a little different for this.
But the Picard's like, it's not here. We would have found it by now, and Sovak doesn't believe it right away. But we'll come to find out later that it's not here because Vash already found it. She's already been here and she's already found it. But no one else knows that yet. So it's not here. The Vorgons are confused, so they kind of take off, and and lucky for them, Sovak doesn't decide to shoot them anyway. They were so he just starts digging the hole, and he keeps like, it's here. Of course it's here. And as far as we know, he's still digging that hole on
Curse of Oak Island.
Yeah. Curse of Oak Island.
They're on like season like 12 or something now, aren't they?
Like 20.
Is it 20 really? Wow.
I think so. It's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah,
Did they find anything yet?
They find like once in a while they'll find like coins and artifacts, but like they never found the whole treasure. Anyway, so then Sovak's still there. They come back to the resort, which again was like 30 kilometers from where they were, so it's quite.
And why didn't they take a vehicle or anything? They walked.
They walked. I don't know, because that's the adventure. But I like you think you could like call for transport.
At least on the way back, like.
Well, and they'd have more time to fornicate in the cave. Like, come on.
Exactly. So now that they're back,
we're on a timetable here, Dave.
Picard tries to like say, "Hey, are we like a thing now? Are we like romantic?" But she's like, "I just want to be alone," And he's like, "Okay." She's like, "I'm very sad that my 5 years of work for the Tox Uthat has been for nothing. So, see you later." And he's like, "Okay, good night, peace out." And then there's a bit of a time jump. Picard goes to the lobby of the resort, and Riker calls. Riker is here, and so he calls on his communicator, and Riker's like, "We can beam you up anytime." He's like, "Get ready for transporter code 14 on my signal." And Riker's confused.
Surprised he wasn't like, "Can I come down and get your luggage there, Captain?"
Yeah, can I come on down? But Picard says, "Get ready for transporter code 14." Okay, sir, sure. And Vash then comes out, and Picard is expecting her here because he's expecting her for her to make her exit. He read that. She's like showered and changed into her yet another outfit. She has like more outfit changes than like some characters in the entire run of the show.
Love it. Love this outfit. Love the hair. Love the little gems on the side and the sheer one arm and the cold shoulder.
It's
so
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the shoes are too. Yeah.
I don't know about the shoes.
It's great color on her. Anyway, Picard was already expecting her. She's like, "I was coming to say goodbye," and he's like, "I can save you the trouble." But he confronts her. He's like, "I know you lied. I know that you already found the Tox Uthat, and you're taking it off here. Where is it? And she's like, "You're good. Okay, you got me." And this playfulness she has. Where did she hide it? Horgon. Presumably that's what she was doing right before. When Picard showed up earlier, right?
Yeah.
So,
because you saw her, she was bent down playing with them all.
Yeah,
she's moving them all around and stuff.
And the Tox Uthat is like this, crystalline thing, a little gemstone, a piece of the future, she says, but a very dangerous piece. And so just then, as they have it here. He says, she's like, were you going to give this to the Daystrom Institute? She's like, well, not give. I was going to sell it to them for, whatever money she would have wanted in that. Just then the Vorgons show up and they want it. Give it to us. Give us that Tox Uthat. And she's like, wait, Vorgons? Like, how do you know you can even trust them? He's like, oh, that's a good point. You're gonna have to prove who you say you are. And then they're like, well, no. And then that's when they pull out the gun or the phaser or whatever.
Deanna there.
Yeah, he needs Deanna. Like, oh, I don't have my Betazoid lie detector here.
He pulled out a piece of that puck from that other episode.
He somehow knows when Vash
puck.
is always lying, but he doesn't know when the Vorgons are lying. So his lie detecting skills are somewhat selective.
Look at his gun though. It looks like the food pucks from that episode a couple back.
Yeah,
or was it last week?
Yeah, it's not the most impressive looking thing, but the guy wears oven mitts, so he needs something functional.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, so then he ends up shooting Vash, but it's not. Luckily, it's not a fatal blast. It's like it's on stun or something here.
And that was really slow the way she moved backwards. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. So at least they're not homicidal Vorgons. But anyway, Picard then he says, transporter code 14 on my signal. He attaches his comm badge to the Tox Uthat, which of course then blows it up before they can even get it. Not the most impressive alien. I like the costume itself, I think, is a little limited.
Well, that scene sells it for me right there.
Yeah.
Jazz hands.
But like the makeup head and all is really incredible.
Yeah, I think it's impressive, but yeah.
I think the costumes would have been more impressive were they not brown.
Yeah.
Like if they had made the brown part out of a different color or pattern or something, because the structure of the costumes is cute and the makeup, as Dave said, is very cool.
Yeah.
And they have built
spent all their costume budget on Vash and all her costume changes.
Yeah, they're like, she needs 8 dresses. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different, and I like that. I always like something new. Anyway, they're like, history said you destroyed the Tox Uthat. You fulfilled your destiny, so we're totally cool with this. And then they leave, basically. And we're like, okay, bye, Vorgons. It's been real. And this kind of all ties into that whole temporal Cold War stuff that they did in Enterprise too, Jody. And part of me really wonders, like, why when they did the episode where they went to Risa in Enterprise, why didn't they tie this whole Tox Uthat thing into that episode? Because it's established. It
would be a good opportunity. Yeah.
It was put there in the 22nd century, which that's when Enterprise happens. Yeah. So it seems like they could. Well, maybe they were planning to come back to Risa. At some
point. Like a background scene would have been cool, like just one of those walking by behind.
I wonder if it has to do with like copyright issues because the Tox Uthat was in a script written by somebody else.
Could be.
Like that happens with characters. I wonder if it can happen with like concepts or something as well.
Well, yeah, it totally could have been that.
It could be if you write an episode set on Risa, do you have to pay Iris Stephen Bear a royalty because he kind of created Risa, or would it only be if like this Vorgon character showed up because he created that character?
When you sell your scripts, though, I think that kind of comes with that. Like that's all the property, right?
Well, because I know it came up with like when they were creating Star Trek Voyager, right? And they were like, well, we needed Nick Locarno, but they didn't. They got Robert Duncan McNeil to play Tom Paris, who is basically Nick Locarno, a very similar.
But they couldn't use the Nick Locarno identity because somebody else had written that.
Yeah, they could have used it, but they would have had to pay that writer royalty.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
So, well, maybe that is how it works. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm a little unclear what the rules around all that are. Anyway, so after the Tox Uthat's destroyed, and
now I'd like to note that Picard has just as many different costumes in this episode as Vash does. He's wearing like a drapey teal number here that we love.
Do we love this? I don't know if I could pull this shirt off. I don't think I could.
I believe Heather said we loved it, Dave.
Yeah, we love it. I speak for everybody. We love it.
We love it.
Yeah, I like the color. Anyway, so
I just like seeing Picard in casual clothing.
Yeah, he likes showing off the chest.
It reminds me of a hockey team.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, this is
it's a similar color to what you're wearing right now, kind of in this light.
That's right, Dave. It needs more draping, though.
I know. Well, trust me, I had a whole conversation with Jane about draping earlier, but that's a whole other subject. So,
I got time for that one.
Yeah. Anyways, so Picard and Vash, they're kind of saying goodbye here, and he was like, "Well, where are you going next?" And she was like, "Some cave." He's like, "You're outrageous."
Oh, unbelievable. You are out of your mind.
Out of your mind.
I
You're.
love it. It's so fun.
And she's like, "Well, if I get caught, it's she's."
Do you think the budget went a little low now? Like, why do we have seashells and pieces of bark taped to a band?
It's decorative.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
It's not bark, Jody.
Looks like bark to me.
Jody Simpson, fashion
Tiny.
critic. So
I am known for my fashion, Dave.
Yes. What a stylish guy.
I am.
Yeah. Anyway, so they kind of it's their romance is kind of left open ended here that they might see each other again, but she's not going to come live on the Enterprise. It would be a little too limited for her, too structured, too many rules. So even though they could maybe use an archaeologist, he kind of thinks about it for a second, but he's like, no, that would not be a good idea. So they say goodbye, at least for now, and then back on the Enterprise, Picard comes back and. Everyone's like, "You have a good holiday." Everyone else, like, "Oh yes, sir." But then Picard's like, "And Riker, I'm gonna have a word with you about your little Horgon stunt." But then he goes,
Okay,
"All right,
Riker's like, I'll take it. It's fine.
we'll talk later." But then he's like, "Did you have a good time, sir? Did you have a good vacation?" He's like, "Oh, did I ever?" And this is kind of now he's got the big grin. After this.
I was waiting for the credits roll right there with like a happy version of the theme song, like da-da-da-da-da,
Yeah, that would have been good.
And the second he left the bridge, all those little hens started gossiping.
Oh yeah. Well, and Riker would have been the one to start.
Well, Riker,
he's a gossip queen.
After Picard says he had a great time on the vacation, and Riker's like, yes. And then he looks over at Troy. He's like, yeah. And then he's like, yes.
He looks over at Troy and he's like, I got him laid,
Like, how satisfying.
Horgon was my idea, Deanna. It was a good idea.
This was all me, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw you and your telepathic abilities.
And that's
can do
the
it like
end
this.
of the plot, the episode,
Yep,
and
great episode. So much fun.
So
much
good.
fun. And a little bit of adventure. Jody, would you mind giving us some trivia from the episode?
I can do just that, Dave. Michael Dorn.
Facts with Jody.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, so fun.
Ooh,
I
I like
liked
the
it.
little
That was nice.
extra there. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Anyway, Michael Dorn, the actor who played Worf, can be seen twice without his Klingon makeup as a tourist. In fact, he is the first character to appear in the episode as it starts on Risa. He then walks across from left to right with a woman in red. And then as the picture zooms back, you can see him walking toward the back of the space to the right. He's wearing a purple tank top and an orange swimsuit bottoms.
Well, that was definitely him.
Yeah.
That was-
In his little short shorts.
Yeah, and it says that he
Wish.
can also be seen again in the scene where Vash slips the disc into Picard's tunic. He's sitting on the wicker chair behind Vash, Picard, and the Ferengi on the right in the same outfit. So there
On
you
the
go.
wicker chair. That doesn't narrow it down at all. I don't know if y'all noticed, but Risa is the wicker planet.
It is
Yes.
really wicker. It's
They
like
like wicker.
it's like they. I bet their
It's
flea
just like
markets
the
are banging.
worst sex furniture. You can't have Jamal Harone in a wicker chair.
Yeah,
Well,
they'll
you
make it
can,
like
but
the floor of
only
a cave.
once.
Like they can do it all.
You can do it, but only once.
Yeah.
Anyway, the scene where Dr. Crusher tells Captain Picard about the members of the crew that are showing signs of stress and exhaustion parallels a similar scene in the original series, Shore Leave from 1966. Spock attempts the same strategy with Captain Kirk, which tricks Kirk into saying that he said that the said crewmen are under orders to accept shore leave. To which Spock then reveals that the crewman in question was actually the captain. However, in the scene where Beverly attempts this, Captain Picard sees through the ruse quite easily.
Is that the
You
one with the
would
white
not have
rabbit?
to force William T. Kirk to go. Did I see William T. Kirk? James T. Kirk to go
You
to
did,
Risa.
yeah. Oh,
He would
well.
not have to be forced.
Oh, he's probably got a timeshare. Like, come on.
He definitely does.
The view of Risa when the Enterprise comes into orbit is actually Australia, specifically focused on the state of South Australia.
Oh.
So Risa is actually Australia, guys.
All right.
Another reason to go visit our friends down under.
Yeah.
All right. The part of the Ferengi Selvak is played by Max Grudenchik. I can't remember. Grudenchik, yeah. Who later had a reoccurring role as Quark's brother Rom in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And Jennifer Hetrick, which is obviously the lady who played Vash, makes her first of 3 appearances as Vash. She appears again in Cupid from 1991 and Q-Less from 1993.
And like, I never saw her like she had a whole career after Star Trek, like a bunch of stuff, but mostly like TV, seemingly. She still most recently was on a show called Code Black, which she did like episodes of 24, and I don't know. She's been around.
Yeah.
But,
24. Okay, that rings a bell now.
Yeah.
Seeing her on that.
well, she was in one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the day too. So.
Yeah, I think she's a professional guest star. Like that's kind of what she is. Like she's always brought in for the shorter semi short roles. So
she never did.
You get a four episode run or something like that, right?
She's smart, Dave.
Well,
yeah. This episode is the only time Transporter Code 14 is used or mentioned in the entire franchise to date.
Why would you want it though? Like we have this transporter code that will basically blow something up. Like it seems like not.
Well, it's a way to
get rid of a bomb,
arm yourself without having to. It could be used as a weapon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Technology to stop all nuclear fusion within a star would later be developed by the Tolian Soren in Star Trek Generations.
So he didn't even need that trilithium. He could have just got a Tox Uthat.
He could have did it right away. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Duras sisters died for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. So the planet Risa is 90 light years away from Earth, which is established in the Enterprise episode 2 Days and 2 Nights from 2002.
90 light years is not close, but it's not that.
It's not close, but it's closer than a lot of other things.
It's worth making the trip to Risa.
I'd say so.
Yeah. This is the first of several TNG episodes that focus on Captain Picard in an unusual situation and ignores the rest of the cast for most of the episode. So there you go. Lots of those. But, obviously.
Because I feel like they're like in here in season 3, they're still settling into this idea of like, this is a Picard episode, or this is like a Crusher episode or whatever. Like they're kind of doing that here in season 3, but not as fully as they will like for the seasons to come after it.
Yeah.
Well, I find this one doesn't have the B story really at all.
Yeah, there's not much B story.
Yeah,
which is good. I think it's easy to follow.
I don't think it needs to. Yeah, you can just follow it much better.
Sometimes I hate when we're reviewing an episode and we're like, and this is happening, and then we're back to this thing, and now we're back to this thing, and now we're back to this thing. It's just kind of like I guess it's easier as a viewer than it is a reviewer. But
and sometimes you just remember the A story of the episode, and you're watching it, and you're like, oh yeah, this is the one where that happens. So like, why even have that if you don't even remember?
Yeah,
That would be good trivia questions for Dave, actually. I know, because that's hard to remember. What is the B story? You don't know.
Yeah, that actually is a hard thing.
Oh yeah, let's get him.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's Ashley.
I face all challengers.
There you go. Yeah, no, I don't think I would try to reckon with you, Dave. Jonathan Frakes' father was a professor and had a passion for reading. When he was a kid, he took his father's copy of Ulysses. And his father said that he wasn't ready for it. Years later, after his dad had died, he picked up the book and read a few paragraphs before putting it away and said, nope, still not ready. In this episode, Picard has Ulysses as one of the light reading books that he says. So that's kind of cute.
That's great.
I wonder if he's rereading it or reading it for the first time. But
I think the intention is he's reading it for the first time. It's hard. I never finished it. Wesley Crusher and Jody LaForge do not appear in this episode. Data appears but does not have any dialogue at all. So, tough on Data, I guess. Let's see if we can...
So those actors, like you hear, like that we had like that week where I only had to go in and I like had no lines. They thought it was the best. Like they basically went to work one day that week.
When you're on the boys.
No, just like for Data, in this situation
for
where
Data. Okay,
he didn't even have to he didn't have to memorize a line. He just had to show up and be basically be an
cash
extra.
the paycheck. Yeah, exactly.
Still getting paid.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sounds like a great idea.
And I mean, what are they going to do with the android on Risa? They're not going to have him making the jokes about getting Picard laid. They're not going to have him reacting to Picard's Risian antics, so it makes sense he'd be in the background. They definitely should have put Spiner in a pair of shorty shorts as a Risian.
That would have been amazing. Just have him as like security. That would have been amazing. Oh boy. Okay. All right. This is the second of 2 episodes in a row, along with Allegiance from 1990, during which Picard spends most of his time off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think we mentioned that in a previous episode recently. But there's a lot of stuff here. Let's do one more.
All right.
Give us only the funnest of facts.
Funnest and the most factual, please.
The funnest and the most factual. You got it. Okay. The 2 aliens attempting to steal the Uthat, or whatever it was, are referenced as Vorgons in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Vogons, without the R, are a particularly repulsive alien race that destroys the Earth. So,
so they're meant to be
coincidence or nod to Hitchhikers?
Either way, that was factual, and I believe it was also fun.
That was very good, Jody. You did great. Thank you, sir. All right. Well, with that said, we're gonna time to score the episode and rate it. Let's put our scores down, everyone. Okay, so I don't know. This episode's great. I love this episode too. Why, do I like it? I like it more than Allegiance. So it's at least a 9.5. 9.5.
9.5.
What else can you want? Jane?
That's a lot.
This one's a 10 for me. It's what I like about Star Trek, about TNG. I would watch this over and over and over again.
Yeah, especially if Picard's butt is shown.
And
that's
I love it. I love Vash. I love the story. I love everything about it.
All right. A 10. So we're coming in strong here. Who's up? Jody.
It is I. I'm trying to figure out whether it's better than Deja Q. I'm not sure it is, but you know what? I gotta at least put it up with it. So I'm gonna give it a 9. Okay. Very good episode.
9
high praise from Jody.
It's pretty high.
Good episode.
And
it's a 10 for me.
It's no defector though.
Did you say 10?
Yes.
10.
Definitely a 10. It has, as Jane said, it has all the things I like about Star Trek. It's fun. It's funny. There's costumes. There's sex. There's intrigue. Love it.
Yeah, it's great. I love it too.
Sex.
Now it only has a 7.2 on IMDb.
Really?
Which is lower than like Allegiance or Sins of the Father or a bunch of episodes we've recently done.
I think that can be chalked up to perhaps like purists who are like, oh, it was just blah blah blah, romping vacation, blah blah, no actual science. Well, you know what? Star Trek's fun. Like it.
Yeah. And there was tons of science fiction in this, like and the world building. So I love it.
Stargazer Fish says I give it a 7.
We're all fighting for this apparently.
And then says it's very good, but there are better ones later. And Fran Dresshirt says I've not seen any episodes of this show. Lol.
Well, I'm not sure why you're here, but we're
Fran
glad you are.
Drescher. We love you.
Well, that's okay. You can watch it through the lens of us talking about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're averaging 9.6 between the 4 of us tonight. So it's an 8.4 when you average out the IMDb score. So that is our score for Captain's Holiday. We are going to look ahead to our next episode, which is called. Do I have that card yet? One moment. Sorry, I forgot to upload it.
This show just keeps going downhill every week.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Because they keep letting me back.
Yeah. Well,
I bring it down, dude.
okay. Next week we are talking Tin Man. And in this one, a telepath, Tam Elbrun, joins the Enterprise to investigate a living starship near a dying sun. With Romulans closing in and emotions running high, the mission becomes a race against time and the test of trust between Tam, Data, and a mysterious Gumtu, which is this living spaceship alien thing. And we'll see.
So
your description, Dave, is way more exciting than the episode.
When we were like assigning episodes, I remember there were a lot I wanted this season. And I remember being like, oh, I don't like Tin Man. I won't bother with that one. And getting shouted down in the chat about it being a good episode. So I'm going to watch it again just to reevaluate.
We are looking for a third next week. We have Adam and Justin up, but you know.
I think Heather should get in there.
This is the one
Okay, well, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to do it with an open mind.
Okay. Well, okay, fine.
I'm not sure if that's a threat, a promise. What is that?
A greater disclaimer have ever been given.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch this with an open mind.
Have
just
to
to
put that
tell
at the
you.
front of the show now.
So, you know, all good.
I'm like Picard on Risa. I'll go, but I won't like it.
Oh, okay.
Also, check out every Thursday. We talk about the new episodes of Starfleet Academy here on the channel. The one coming up this Thursday is called Series Acclamation Mill. It will be a Sam featured episode, presumably.
Sorry. Yay.
Yeah. So look out for that. Jody and I won't be there. It will be, but Chris Murphy will be hosting once again, and he'll be talking with Adam and some others. Look out for that. And what else we got, guys? We have Curly. And next week we're gonna have an interview on the 12th. Is it next week the 12th?
With who, Dave?
Yes. Next week we are talking to Aaron. Aaron Waltke who is a producer, co-executive producer, and head writer of Star Trek Prodigy.
Nice. Awesome.
So he's coming in next week to talk to me. So thanks to Chris Murphy helping set this up. That should be a lot of fun.
That's wonderful. What a good get for the channel. Awesome. Looking forward to that.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. Thanks to Chris for helping set that up. So look out
Chris
for that.
Is quite a world mind, that boy.
He's working things. He's working angles all over the place. So check out all the great coverage here on Live Long and Podcast all the time. And soon over on our Super Mario Brothers channel later this month, Survivor season 50 is starting up. So get ready for 50.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, all returning players. Ozzy's back, everyone.
I can't believe how excited I am for this.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You should try it.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to Risa, but then there's no vacation and you have to survive. So otherwise,
and there's no Jamaharon either. I don't think.
Is there Vash?
There can be.
There can be.
Is there Vash?
No Vash.
No Vash?
But,
no, screw it then.
But
I'm not going.
Okay, I'm out.
All right. Well, anyway, with that said, we'll leave you for tonight. Thanks for being with us on the podcast, and we'll see you next time. Thanks to the whole panel, and we'll leave you with this with this moment.
I don't understand. You say you wish to be alone, yet you carry the Horgon.
Why? Are you implying this has some special meaning?
The Horgon is the Rysian symbol of sexuality. To own one is to call forth its powers. To display it is to announce you are seeking Jamaharon.
Rika.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mario Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.